so I've secured the goods. I got 2 of the Haus Labs, the Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I got 2 shades because I couldn't tell with the Sephora lighting what shade I was going to be. So I got shade 260 light, medium, cool. And then I also got the 280 light, medium, neutral. So we'll see. I'll test them both out. Hopefully one of these is going to be a good match. Who knows? I could have guessed completely wrong. They could both not work for me and I'll end up returning them, but we will find out soon. So I'll keep you guys posted. It's the next day. I've purchased the 2 Haus Labs foundations yesterday. So now I'm home. I just took a shower. I don't have any skincare on, and I thought, what better way to test a foundation, like truly like test a new foundation, than using it and putting it on top of all of the things I normally wear skincare wise with my normal foundations that I know and I love and I know how they perform. So I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna use the skincare that I've been using for probably like the last 2 weeks. I talk about this a lot. I switch up my skincare a lot. I get bored and I also get excited and I want to try new things and I get new things and all that. So it never stays exactly the same, but my steps always stay the same, if that makes sense. So my skin feels actually really dry right now, but as you know, like I talk about this a lot too, my skin is more combination oily. Like I definitely tend to have more oily skin, especially when I was younger. It's chilled a little bit, and the amount of oil that I get now throughout the day, I actually enjoy. I like it. I like my like kind of oily glow that I get. And I appreciate it now, whereas I did not back in the day. But anyway, so let me get my skincare started before I put my foundation on and we test it out. So I'm gonna start with an essence. This one I got for free from the brand MISSHA. It's the same brand that has the sunscreen that I actually like a lot. So this is their first essence enriched. What it says it does is it tightens and it brightens and also hydrates. So is my camera at all? So I'm gonna pop this on first. It's hard to get out though, and a little messy. This is honestly like essences and toners that are hydrating are like the nicest like drink of water for your skin. They feel so good, especially in the morning. Like after a hot shower, they feel so amazing. And my skin's just like sucking it up. So that's how I know my skin's more on the dry side. Usually my skincare takes a minute to absorb, but right now it's like, I can tell my skin is sucking it in really quick. Pops on the top of my hand. That'll absorb in a couple of seconds. And now I'm gonna go straight into a vitamin C. I switch up my vitamin C a lot, but I do go back to this one all the time. This is my girl Susan's brand, Naturium. It's their vitamin C complex serum. I love this under makeup. It's lightweight. I love serums under makeup. Like I will layer the heck out of serums underneath makeup and then do a little bit of moisturizer to seal it in, which I'm gonna do right now and I'll show you guys. But I always do a vitamin C in the daytime just to protect my skin. This also helps to brighten your skin. So I get it all over. Get a little extra to do my neck. Can't see, but I bring it down my chest and on the top of my hands. It's hard to film this way on my phone for YouTube, like having it go this way. It's hard to get used to, I should say. Okay, I'm just doing a little bit more. And now one more serum that I really like. This is the Caudalie Resveratrol Lift. It's a lifting and firming serum. I like this. I like the texture of this. This feels like kind of like a milky serum. I don't notice it being like, you know, super firming. I just like the way my skin feels with it on. Who knows? Maybe it is firming my skin. If it is, that's great. And that makes it a great product for underneath makeup. Like who doesn't want firmer skin underneath their makeup? But do I believe that's firming my skin? No, not really. But I like the way it feels, so it's a placebo effect. I even get the top of my hands, even though my hands don't need firming. Doesn't matter, it's still like a nice moisturizing serum. I'm gonna put a little bit more on my neck. Sorry, this is turning into like a full-blown morning skincare routine. when it's really supposed to be a review of the Haus Labs foundation, but why not knock this out? Because you guys ask me about my skincare all the time. So, and I was taught by the best. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of moisturizer before I put my sunscreen on. Another Naturium product. I love this product so much. I have it in my makeup kit. I go through many tubes of this stuff. It's the multi-peptide moisturizer. I'm not gonna go crazy with the moisturizer. I'm just gonna really focus this under my eyes. My under eyes have been feeling kind of dry lately, like drier than usual. I usually don't have dry under eyes, but they've been feeling kind of like just dehydrated. And this isn't gonna hydrate my under eyes, but it's going to moisturize it, and it's going to lock in those serums that I applied under, that you saw me apply under my eyes. It's gonna lock in the moisture. So I really focus it under my eyes and around my temples. Do a little bit more on my forehead. My forehead feels a teeny bit tight and dry still. I'm not going crazy with the moisturizer because I don't want to have too many layers of skincare while I'm testing out that new formula foundation. Now, if it was my other foundations that I know and I love and I know how they perform and I know how they're gonna wear throughout the day, then I would go hog wild like I usually do. So this is still the same steps that I normally use as far as skincare underneath my makeup. I'm just using a little less moisturizer. My serums, I loaded it up, but a little less moisturizer. And that's really only because, not to give you guys a whole long-winded explanation, but it's really because my serums, or serums in general, they absorb very quickly. Moisturizers are more for like, they don't quickly absorb like a serum does. They're not meant to absorb into the skin really. They're meant to just protect your skin. They're meant to lock in moisture and hydration and give added moisture, if that makes sense. My friend Susan could probably tell you this way better. Okay, so to finish my skin prep, I'm gonna go in with my sunscreen. This one I use all the time. It's the Soft Finish Sun Milk SPF 50 from the brand MISSHA. I love this one. I think they reformulated it since I've been using it. It feels a little bit different, but I still like it. And I like this one because it's not a really greasy, thick SPF sunscreen that is gonna look terrible under makeup. This one looks beautiful under makeup. And like I said, I'm more on the oily side and it doesn't make my skin look extra oily and extra greasy. I hate to use that word, but like, you know, some sunscreens make your skin look and feel greasy. I hate that feeling so much. So that's why I like this one. It's gonna look shiny, but it actually will absorb more than it is right now. So I'm just rubbing that all over. I have to get more for my neck and my chest. I use a lot of this stuff. Okay, so just rubbing it in. You can tell it does have like a little bit of a white cast to it, unfortunately, which is such a bummer with some SPFs, but makeup will cover that for me. But if you have deeper skin, I don't suggest using this sunscreen because more than likely it's going to leave a white cast on your skin, and that is no good. Okay, a little bit more for the top of my hand, and then I swear we're going to get into the makeup, which is the whole point. So just getting the top of my hands. I really try to be so diligent with my especially my morning skin prep and putting it on top of my hands. My hands go through a lot like throughout the day. Like they go through, I put them through the ringer, so to speak. Like they are constantly in, you know, makeup removers and hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes and washing them constantly. So they're always being beat up with like chemicals, unfortunately. So I always try to make sure that I remember to put everything that I put on my face, I put it onto my hands because, you know, I want my face to look good for a long time, but I also want my hands to look good because I don't want them to like not match, right? Like, oh, you have nice young skin, but your hands are looking, they're showing your age. Like, I don't want anyone to ever think that later on. Who knows? So hopefully this will help. Anyway, let's get into the star of the show, the makeup. So as I told you guys, I need lip balm. I'm so sorry. I need lip balm really bad. I'm gonna put this on. This is a Huda Beauty lip plumping It's like the Icy Lip Plumper. I love that stuff so much. It's like a cool, tingly, but not burning lip plumper. Okay, so for foundations, I got 2 shades. Is that playing too loud? I got 2 shades. I got the 260 light, medium, cool. So, and I have to talk to you guys about the undertones of this. They're a little wacky. And I also got the 280 light, medium, neutral. So the neutral in Sephora, the neutral looked perfect. Like it looked like it was going to be a perfect match for me. And then I took it home. I'm not gonna lie, I already kind of looked at these beforehand, and now I'm seriously questioning the decisions I made while in Sephora with my color choices. I don't know if it was just lighting. I don't know if I needed my glasses. I don't know if I just messed up, but I think I actually messed up. But so let's talk about the undertones. So they're a little confusing. So I'm just gonna point this out, and I feel like no one else is pointing this out, or maybe I just haven't caught their videos yet pointing this out. But I haven't seen anyone point out the fact that their undertones are not correct. So they kind of pulled a MAC Cosmetics. They kind of pulled a MAC Cosmetics in a sense where they are labeling the cool one as the opposite. So cool in makeup standards is usually meaning more of a pink, cool undertone. So let's say you have a blue vein, right? Like if you have more blue veins in your wrists, that's usually a telltale sign you're gonna be more of a cool undertone, meaning you're gonna have more pink and red in your undertones. Whereas cool to Haus Labs is meaning the opposite. This is more of a warm tone foundation. So this has a lot of yellow in it, like a lot of yellow, and it's got more of a golden olive undertone. So it's the opposite. This in makeup standards should be a warm tone. This in makeup standards should be a warm tone foundation. Instead, they're labeling as a cool. So if you're familiar with like the MAC way of labeling their undertones, they basically took a cue from MAC, and so just keep in mind their undertones mean the opposite. So if you think you were cool in MAC, you're probably a warm in Haus Labs, if that makes sense. So it's all backwards. A little confusing. So I'm just gonna swatch a little bit of the neutral one that I got just to show you guys, even though I know this is not gonna be my shade, but I just wanna show you. Yeah, so it's definitely neutral. Like looks like it's got a nice mix of both undertones in it. It's definitely a neutral. It looks perfect in the store, but man, I messed up because this does not match me. And then this one is the cool tone. So this is the 260 light, medium, cool. And this is gonna be the one that I know I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be the closest to my skin. Okay, so I'm just buffing this on. 2 minutes. So I'm just buffing this on using a Zoeva small buffer. It's their petite stippling brush. It's a 122 brush. I love this brush. So one thing about this foundation I will say is it blends onto your skin like a dream. I mean, it's like butter. And you know, if you're watching me do this at home and you're like, wow, that foundation does not match you going on initially. I hear you, I know, but you know, the goal for me, and I talk about this a lot, is the goal for me is always to match my face, which is a lot more fair, as you can see, than the rest of my body. So I'm always trying to just go for a cohesive look all over and all throughout, right? That's always the goal, is you want to match from head to toe. So by choosing this foundation color, you can see it is a little more on the yellow side than I would like and appreciate, but I'm gonna make it work because I really want to wear it all throughout the day and thoroughly test it. I don't want to go to Sephora and exchange it yet, sorry. So I'm gonna try and make this shade work, even though, could it match me more? Yep, definitely. Is it doable and passable in terms of shade? 100%, so we're gonna make it work. But this one is a no-go. That neutral one, the 280 neutral, is not, it's not for me. In fact, take a little tissue and wipe it off. Okay, so let's do foundation all over. And then I'm gonna wear it throughout the day. I have the day off, I'm gonna wear it while running errands. And I'll report back. But yeah, this is literally blending on incredible, incredibly easy and smooth. It kind of reminds me of the Armani Luminous Silk, but honestly, it looks more smooth. So I don't know. I'm really impressed, by the way. Like, I guess I'm not saying that enough, but I'm really impressed by the way this is going on. It feels really, really nice. I feel like this would be a really nice formula for, even if your combination more oily like I am, I feel like this is still a good foundation for oily skin. I mean, so far, this is my first impression, right? But like, initially going on, it looks beautiful. It's laying so well on top of my skincare, which is such a bonus because there's nothing worse than like applying your foundation on top of your skincare and then stuff being pilling. Oh man, that's the worst. That is so difficult. Sorry if you hear my neighborhood. There's people in the neighborhood talking right now. They're right by my studio. Oh, they're talking to my husband. So funny. Okay. Try and do this fast because I know I've kept you guys here a long time when I was rambling about my skincare, but hopefully that was still interesting. There's a lot of people outside. So before I even bring this down to my neck, which to be honest, you guys, I'm not gonna bring it down to my neck, maybe just a little bit. I don't like the feeling of foundation on my neck. That's why I always try to get as close to my skincare or to my skin as possible with my shades so I don't have to bring it down to, in order for it to match. But you can see there's definitely a color difference. You know, I didn't pick the gray shade. You can see it's definitely like pretty yellow on me. And I do have more of a warm golden undertone. I have more olive skin, as you can, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is still leaning a little too olive for me, but I'm gonna make it work. I really don't wanna go to Sephora and exchange it yet. I wanna wear it and experience it uninterrupted. So don't judge me for my color choice. Even a pro makeup artist messes up. But yeah, so here it is finished. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. I'll probably just do a little bit of concealer. I'm not gonna do, I'm able to do a little bit of blush just so I look alive, but I don't wanna put too many things on top of my face that are going to hide the finish throughout the day, if that makes sense. So I'm not gonna put like powder bronzer on. I'm not even gonna do like contour. I'm not gonna do highlighter. I'm not gonna do any of those things except for maybe a little blush. That way I can really truly see how it's gonna wear on my forehead, how it's gonna wear on my jaw, how it's gonna wear on my cheeks for the most part. And what I will do too is only powder my under eye. So I'm gonna do all those things. I'll report back to you guys. I'll give you an update as I wear it. But first initial thoughts is this looks beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Armani Luminous Silk, which to me is like a such a compliment. That is a very, very high compliment, right? But I do think that this is almost easier to blend on and it looks more smooth than the Armani Luminous Silk. That's a first impression. If you are someone with my skin type, like combination oily, I think you'll still like this, even though it has more of a glowy finish. And if you're someone with mature skin, I think this foundation would be incredible. Like absolutely a must to try if you have more mature or dry skin. I think this would be a phenomenal formula. But again, those are first impressions. I don't see myself changing that impression while I wear it, but okay. That's enough rambling. I'm gonna wear it. I'll report back. I'll see you guys soon. Before I go, let's talk about the ingredients. I forgot to mention what it says it does, like the claims. So it's the House Tech powered with bioferment 7 complex plus Intellizin 7 complex. It's a clean, cutting edge, longwear foundation that delivers superior makeup performance without compromising your skin, infused with 20 plus skincare ingredients, buildable, medium coverage, luminous second skin finish, ultra fluid, weightless formula. I like all those things. So lots of really good claims. And I like that there's, you know, supposedly some 20 plus skincare ingredients in there. And it does have all the ingredients back here too. I need my glasses to read those small words. But yeah, those are the claims. So we'll see if it performs the way it says it does. So here's the makeup up close. I thought it'd be good to show you guys in like my car, like with car lighting. You know, the lighting in your car is always so true and so telling. It's like so accurate, it's scary. But just to point out, I did finish the rest of my makeup. I put lipstick on, I put mascara on, I put my eyeshadow on, I finished my brows, and I also put my under eye concealer. But I want to point out that I only set with powder, I only set this area right here and just a little bit right here because I know I'm going to get really shiny there and it's going to bother me. But I don't want to over powder it because I want to be able to really see what it's going to look like throughout the day and not have it have a leg up, so to speak, by having one of my favorite powders on top. So I minimally powdered just where I really needed it, which is under my eyes, like I talk about. I don't want my concealer to crease, but this is, so what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 4.5 hours into wearing the foundation. It still looks really pretty, like really pretty. I do feel like I put way too much on, like I put one layer on, but it was kind of a thick layer because I was talking and I was distracted, but it looks good. It looks really pretty. Okay, so I just got home. I was running some errands and getting some stuff done. And it's actually pretty hot outside. It's like 80 something degrees outside, and I also had sunglasses on. So I have like the typical sunglass marks on my nose that are almost completely inevitable or unavoidable, I should say, when you're wearing sunglasses. But that's just a side note. I just want to show you the texture and what it looks like right now. It's held up really well. I'm sweating a little bit, but I think it looks really good. And this is what, 9 hours later? I put this on at 8 a.m. It's now 5 o'clock, so it's been on for a long time. And I have not touched up my face. I haven't put more powder on. I haven't done anything. So this is bare bones, like exactly how I left you guys at 8 a.m. I have not touched it. I haven't even touched up my lip, so I should probably do that. I can touch up my lip. But yeah, so here it is up close with natural light. I'm right in front of a window right now, so you can see like with natural lighting. It looks good. It looks really good. And like I've mentioned before too, my skin is more combination oily. I know I said that my skin's feeling more dry right now, but that's not what its current state usually is. I usually am leaning towards like oily combination skin. So by this point in the day with most of my other foundations, I usually look a lot more glowy than this. So this is pretty good for being 9 hours. It's pretty good. So that's just my update halfway through the day. I'll update you guys one more time before I actually wash my face tonight. And I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, here's my final check-in with you guys. I just came back from dinner with my husband. I'm about to wash my face. I have my hair up. I'm about to do all my things and get this makeup off my skin, which I'm so excited about because I've had this on since 8 in the morning and it's now 10:45 at night. So it's late. And I just want to let you guys know that I have not touched up my makeup at all. Like I haven't powdered it, I haven't buffed it, I haven't added more to it, I haven't done anything other than add my lipstick, add my lip liner. I did add a half lash just for fun because I had a pair that I had used just once like laying on my makeup table. So I wanted to like just get one more use out of it. So just kind of bumped up my makeup in that regard for going to dinner, but I did not do anything to my face and I didn't even add blush. So originally when I was talking to you guys, when I was applying this foundation, I thought I was going to apply a little bit of blush just to give myself something, you know, just to complete my makeup look basically like I normally would. But I decided not to because I really truly want to just wear the foundation, essentially like bare bones and not really put anything makeup wise on top or layer in any way. And like I mentioned too, like I barely just powdered under my eye and just right here. And that was it. Like I just a little bit of my T-zone, that's it. I didn't powder the perimeter of my face, like the outskirts of my face. I did not powder at all. I just did it right here. And like I also mentioned, it was a hot day. I was out and about. I was running errands. I was doing all kinds of things. I wasn't just like sitting and chilling in my house with the AC running all day. So this definitely held up incredibly well considering all the things that I did and all the things that I put it through. So my final thoughts are this foundation is gorgeous, like actually gorgeous. I even got used to the color. I know I was complaining about the color a lot in the earlier part of this video, but I think it's actually a really good match. And I'm definitely going to return that shade 280 that I purchased, the 280 neutral, light medium neutral. Yeah, light medium neutral. I'm definitely going to replace that one. I'm going to return it and get probably a lighter shade than this one just to have on hand going into winter. But like, this foundation is stunning. It looks so beautiful. But just a couple things I want to point out. I know that my skin is not problematic really in any way. I know that I don't have large pores. I know that I don't have texture. I know that I'm not someone with any skin issues, to be totally honest with you guys. So am I the best judge of this foundation as far as like checking all the boxes of if it's a good foundation or not? Probably not. So what I want to do is, you know, as this foundation is out and you guys are trying it, I would really love for you guys to like leave me in the comments your feedback and let me know how it's working on your skin. So if you have skin that differs from mine and it's either more textured or it's more mature or it's more dry, all those things, or you have more large pores and you're trying it out, I would love to hear your feedback just because I'm so curious. And also it's just good for me too as a makeup artist if you have some really good feedback for me and you have things to say about this foundation that differ from how I feel about it personally. I would love to know because I do really like this foundation and I'm wanting to put a couple into my professional makeup kit. But before I do want to hear like just varying thoughts on how it's performed for you and like, your skin. Because like I said, not everyone's skin is going to be like mine. It's not going to perform the way that my skin is performing with the makeup. So all I have to say, definitely want to hear your thoughts. But yeah, my finishing thoughts are it looks amazing. And I'm just gonna give you one more close-up of my face before I wash it. So here it is. Definitely like some wear on my nose. That's totally normal. I wipe my nose a little bit throughout the day. My chin wore off just a little bit. That's also like very normal for me. But my cheeks are intact. My forehead is definitely intact. It's a little shiny. But all in all, I think it's a beautiful finish foundation. It's a very like satiny finish. Like it's very like, it has a glow to it, but it's more on the satin side. It's not overly glowy, which I actually really appreciate. I think it's very flawless and I think it has a beautiful like blurring effect. Again, I know I don't have many things on my skin as far as like texture goes that need to be blurred, but I can tell right away just as a makeup artist that this is more of a blurring foundation. So if you're someone who does have more skin texture, I'm so curious to hear what you're going to say about this foundation, but I do feel like, in my opinion, it's going to be a nice one for sure. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. This was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like vlog style. Okay, so that wraps up this video. I'm going to wash my face now, but I just want to remind you guys, you know, if you have a different opinion about this foundation than me, leave me a comment below and let me know exactly what your thoughts are. I am curious to see if my thoughts change as I continue to wear this foundation, because I definitely will continue to wear this foundation. I'll probably wear it for the next week straight without changing it up. So hopefully my opinion doesn't change much. I don't think that it will, to be quite honest, but you never know. And just a reminder, you know, this is supposed to be fun. It's not super serious, it's just makeup. So hope you guys had fun doing this with me and enjoy this style. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss my future videos. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.